guys, Disney Queen Skelly here. So this is an update on my doctor's appointment as well as a mukbang because I am hungry. So the last mukbang I did was a black bean noodle mukbang, and it was the powdered one. And I was going to compare the powdered one to the gel one. So this one is the gel one. So the powder one, if I remember last time, it didn't have this one has meat chunks in it, which is really cool, and I think potato chunks as well. The other one had like particle chunks, the mix didn't mix as well. There was crusty chunks, which was nasty. It tasted good, but it tasted really powdery. So I'm gonna taste this one to see how different it is. This just came right off the stove too. It's funny, as I'm blowing on it, I can see the steam on the plate. Yeah, already that tastes 10 times better than the other one. This one doesn't taste powdery. So, the update, I would recommend getting these. The ones with the gel packs, not the powder packs. The gel packs, you'll see I think little pictures of meat on them, and I think those sell better than the powder packs anyway, so I don't think, if you look on Amazon for these, I don't think you'd be getting the powder packs. So anyway, the update on the doctor's appointment. So I went yesterday, as you guys know. So here's what had happened. I got there pretty early, as you guys know. I got there at 9:40. And I ended up walking inside around 9:45, and I got seated right away in one of the rooms. They're not having people wait in the waiting room. They're just having them wait in the sitting rooms where you get examined. So I was waiting in there, and the nurse came in, my primary care physician's nurse, and she goes, "Okay, I'm gonna take your vitals now." And I was like, "Okay, just a heads up, my heart rate may be up a little bit because I'm stupid nervous to be here." She goes, "That's okay." So she takes my vitals, and my pulse was normal, but my heart rate was elevated. And I told her, I was like, "I told you so. I'm nervous to be here." So she goes, "Okay, well, what's wrong?" I told her basically what I told you guys, that, back in June I had those really weird chest pains, and then they went away after 2 weeks, and then in August, this month, they started back up again at the beginning of August. And she wrote all of it down. She asked me what my birth control was, what medication I'm on. I told her at night I take my birth control. I take a Senna, which is a natural laxative, I guess you could call it, and then I take a melatonin, which is natural. It's over the counter. Well, both of them are over the counter, but she said okay, and she said I'll come in with the doctor, when he's ready. And I said okay. So, doctor comes in, and I like how my doctor is. He's not the type to just get straight into it. And I mean, it's not to say he's a bad doctor and he doesn't examine his patients and he takes forever, which he doesn't. He he talks to you to calm you down. Like he'll ask you about your day, how, you know, life is at home, how work's going, school, if you're in school, you know. He talks to you. And I think he knows me best, you know, not that he doesn't know all of his patients, but he knows me and that I get nervous whenever I go. So you know, he likes to talk to me, he talks to me a bit more. So he talked to me, he asked me how work was going. Well, first he asked me how my home life was. That's the first thing he asked me. I said, you know, could be better. And he said, you know, is it that time of year again? And I was like, at first I'm thinking like, what does he mean by that? So I'm thinking maybe it's like my pap smear, but I don't know if I'm like due for a pap smear at all. I don't know. But anyway, so he's asking me about work, like how's work going? I said that work was going great, except that I'm not working, but they still employed us. And then he was asking about, you know, he asked me what I do. And I was like, oh, I work at Disney. And mind you, at this point, they'd asked me to get topless so he can examine me. So I said I work at Disney. He goes, oh yeah, you know, what do you do again? I'm like, I'm in attractions. He goes, oh, okay, that's cool. What ride do you work on? I said, oh, I work on the Storybook Land Canals, the boat ride. He goes, oh yeah, I know that ride. You know, I wonder how much it's changed since that, you know, do they still sing on the ride? I'm like, we're actually not allowed to sing on that ride anymore. He goes, oh, I wonder what else has changed. I'm like, well, do you remember the windmills? He goes, yeah. I'm like, the windmill's no longer there. It's replaced with Frozen. He goes, oh, you're kidding. I was like, nah. So you know, we started talking about hubby. And at this point, I'm on my back and he's examining me. And we're talking about hubby, and he goes, oh, where does your boyfriend work? Who works at Disney too? He's like, oh, where does he work? I was like, you know the new Star Wars land that opened up. He works at the cantina. And, you know, he starts singing the I thought that was funny. And yeah, the nurse walks in and she goes, oh, you work at Disney? I'm like, yeah, so does my boyfriend. So before I knew it, he was done examining me. I'm kind of just sitting there like, Jesus Christ, that was quick. So he comes in, you know, they have me get changed. He comes back in and he goes, so nothing's wrong with you. I was like, really? He goes, yeah. I mean, your heart beats normal. I didn't find anything inside there. And I was like, interesting. So he goes, yeah, I mean, you know, are you sure it's your breast or is it maybe your chest? And I was like, is there a difference? I mean, obviously there is, but I mean, he goes, do you feel like a tightness? I was like, yeah, occasionally. He goes, does it, you know, come and go? I was like, yeah, comes and goes. He goes, yeah. Like, essentially, my doctor was telling me to lose weight in the nicest way possible. Because I started seeing him when I turned 18. And when I was 18, I weighed 95 pounds. I was 50 pounds lighter. He goes, I know you're an active girl. I know you do a lot. You know, I think it's high time you find a way to get active again. And I was like, you know what? You are probably right. Like I said, I think my doctor was trying to tell me to lose weight in the nicest way possible. So we found out I just need to exercise. I need to get a little bit healthier. You know, I mean, not that I'm not healthy, but I mean, obviously get back to a healthier weight rather than being 143, get to like, you know, 110 or something, which is gonna take me time, but I know I'll get there, as you guys have seen through the progress updates and stuff like that. But It's funny, they have a new scale at my doctor's office. I'll tell you about it in a second. They have a new scale at my doctor's office. It talks. So the nurse walks over, she hits it with her shoe, and I'm standing on there with my purse, my keys, my shoes, you know, everything's all heavy, and it goes 146.6. I was like, no. She goes, okay, 145. I was like, girl, I weighed myself Saturday. I'm 143. I got weighed, and then it started talking. The scale said, you weigh 146.6. And the nurse was hitting it with her shoe, like, shut up, shut up, shut up. I thought that was funny. That was like freaking hilarious. All right, guys, these are gonna be the last couple of bites. So anyways, long story short, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong, thankfully. And I thank y'all so much for, you know, sticking around through this. You know, I know it's only been 2 days and it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but to me, it was a big deal. So I thank y'all so much for watching. I thank y'all so much for being with me through this journey. And hopefully we won't have any more doctor's visits for a while unless it's mandatory, like, again, my womanly stuff or whatever. And I hope you enjoyed today's mukbang. Again, the paste is so much better than the powder by a long shot. And plus you get more chunks out of it, so I think that's always a win. Bye, little skeletons. Stay safe. I love you guys.